Hey, everybody, it is Brandon Foster, mindset expert, here today to encourage you, motivate you, inspire you, and to remind you that you are more beautiful than you think you are, you're more successful than you realize, and you're more loved than you could ever possibly imagine. And today I want to talk about something that is really close and dear to my heart, which is why do people that we love the most, the people that we love and care about the most, why do they have the most power to hurt us the most? And this is something that is so incredibly important and really personal for me too. If you guys have not heard my story before, you know that I was in the closet for a very long time before coming out. I was outed in a national publicity article when I was with Rinley Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus, and had a huge falling out with my parents and my family when I came out. And there was a lot of things that I did that were wrong. So many things that I did wrong during that time period that I have forgiven myself for, and I accept that I can't change. And today I just want to share some of those insights and the more that I've learned about just how relationships work. Relationships are such an integral part of our lives, and they're so incredibly important. And you, whoever is watching this, you deserve to have relationships that are filled with true love that is unconditional, that is non-judgmental, that is forgiving, love that is a joyous expression. You deserve and you're worthy of that love. And so today I want to talk about why we allow people who love us the most to hurt us. Now, the time that I experienced the most hurt and pain in my life, one of the times I experienced the most hurt and pain in my life was on my birthday. I had come out, I had gone home, left the circus for a period of time. I had gone through or started to go through like a 12-step program at a church to pray the gay away. And I made the decision to get back together with my boyfriend and rejoin the circus. And it was the first birthday after I'd come back there. And I remember just thinking about one thing that my parents had always told me, which was no matter what happens, no matter what, we will always be there for you. No matter what happens, we will always love you. We will always care about you, always be there for you. And it was my birthday. And we had many arguments leading up to this, where I had said things that were not kind and were not appropriate, and vice versa. And there was a lot of hurt exchange both ways. And I just remember not getting any kind of recognition on my birthday, not a call, not a text. And it was like that very thing of we will always be there for you, we'll never forget you, we'll always love you, was like it was a lie, like it was non-existent. And the hurt and the pain that I felt on that day was unimaginable, because I felt like so many of the promises that my parents had told me were completely broken. And it's a little bit ironic too that prior to that, my parents really felt like I had been living a lie with them because I wasn't open and honest about my sexuality. And that is a really weird energetic duality that a lot of people from the LGBTQ community that they face is they're hiding who they really are. They're hiding their best self, who they're meant to be, from people they love the most, out of fear that they want to accept them. And the reality of it is that the reason why it's difficult for and it's even hard for me to talk about sometimes, which is surprising me, but the fact that you're living a lie and you're not open and honest with other people, they can then use that against you. And part of it is because the reality of it is, and this goes into the reasons why the people that we love the most hurt us the most, is the idea of being honest with how you view and feel yourself. And the reality of it is when you love yourself for being gay or for being whoever you are, unapologetically and acknowledge that you are created by God, by universe, and there's not a mistake, and you fully own that and believe that and are okay with that, um, it allows you to be open and honest with everybody else about who you are. Because the reality of it is when you're not out, you are not showing the world every piece of you that is true and that is whole. So why do people that we love the most hurt us the most? Let's dig really deep and let's just talk about this really quick. First of all, um, one reason is that we are afraid of being honest with them. And reason why we're afraid of being honest with them is because we're actually afraid of what happens when we are honest with them, which is the idea of punishment. A lot of people who struggle with people pleasing, seeking validation and approval from others, is because they were parent pleasers and they would be punished if they didn't do exactly what their parents wanted them to do. And a fear of punishment is never going to provide a healthy, loving relationship if that relationship is based or centered around the idea of punishment. You do what I say, or you're going to be punished. We can only love you if you do what we ask you to do, or you're going to be punished. So that that construct can be very detrimental to any kind of relationship, no matter if you're a teacher with your student, if it's a parent and kids, or kids with their parents, or even a marriage. If you have this idea of you do what I say or you're going to be punished, because actually what that is that's a bridge of like trying to control the other person, and it never feels good to be controlled. The second reason why people that we love the most can hurt us the most is because we're so afraid of disappointing them, right? And so the idea of disappointing my parents was like such like this crazy. Yeah, I was definitely afraid of my mom's anger growing up. Definitely fearful of her anger. And I grew up in a really religious household. Nothing wrong with that, but there was a lot of focus on God's wrath and God's anger. And my mom, I definitely feared my mom's anger when she would get angry. And that being afraid of that is also not a very healthy dynamic of a relationship. And she wasn't like that all the time. My mom was a wonderful mom, and I say this over and over again and say that I think every parent does the best they could given that situation. But it was definitely one of those things where when you're afraid of disappointing someone, right? And so when my mom and my dad didn't acknowledge my birthday, it was like I was the ultimate failure as a son. Like, you can't even acknowledge that I exist. I must have really failed terribly as a son to not even warrant a text on my birthday. The third reason is that we put these people that we love the most, we put them on a pedestal. Like we view them as the end all be all, or that we care more about what they think than anyone else. And the reason why, especially with like family members or parents or sons or daughters, or even people that we're married to or we're romantically connected with, is that energetically you're so connected, because you are a product of your mom and your dad. Energetically, your ties are so much stronger. The bonds right there are so much stronger. Same thing with your relationship of your significant other or whoever that you sleep with. Energetically, you're exchanging emotions and exchanging energies energetically. So what happens is when you put someone on a pedestal like that, you're basically saying that they are worth more or more valuable than you are yourself. And when you put someone below you, okay, that's also a bad thing to do. You're actually saying you're more important or you're more worthy than they are. And the reality of it is that we're all humans. We're all created equally. We all and so that's a very weird thing to think about, but it's very, very true, is that we tend to put people on pedestals. And then the fourth reason